Venus is often called Earth's twin. It is similar in size, similar in composition, and closer to Earth than any other planet. But Venus is not a second Earth. It is one of the most hostile worlds in the entire solar system. If humans attempted to land on Venus, survival would not be measured in days or hours. It would be measured in minutes. At first glance, Venus appears calm. Its thick clouds completely cover the surface, hiding what lies beneath. But those clouds are not made of water vapor. They are made primarily of sulfuric acid. Any human exposed to Venus's atmosphere without protection would be burned almost instantly. And the atmosphere itself is crushing. The pressure on the surface of Venus is over 90 times stronger than Earth's. It is equivalent to being nearly 1 mile underwater. A human body cannot withstand that pressure. Even the strongest materials struggle. If a person somehow reached the surface, their suit would collapse inward, crushing the body before heat even became the primary threat. And then there is the temperature. Venus is hotter than Mercury, despite being farther from the Sun. Surface temperatures average around 900 degrees Fahrenheit. Hot enough to melt lead. Hot enough to destroy electronics. Hot enough to turn most materials brittle and unstable. Unlike Earth, Venus has no way to regulate its heat. Its thick atmosphere traps energy in a runaway greenhouse effect, turning the planet into a pressure cooker. There is no day-night cooling cycle. The temperature barely changes. If humans landed on Venus, there would be no safe window, no cool side of the planet. Heat would surround them constantly. But the dangers of Venus do not stop at heat and pressure. Venus rotates incredibly slowly. 1 day on Venus is longer than 1 year on Venus. The sun would appear to hang in the sky for months at a time, baking the surface endlessly. If humans attempted to live there, they would experience perpetual daylight or darkness for extreme lengths of time. This alone would severely impact mental health, sleep cycles, and biological rhythms. And Venus offers no magnetic field strong enough to protect the surface. Solar radiation would penetrate the atmosphere, damaging cells, DNA, and nervous systems over time. Living on Venus's surface would not be a matter of adaptation. It would be a matter of endurance. And endurance would fail. So, if the surface is impossible, what about above it? Surprisingly, the most survivable region on Venus is not the ground. It is the sky. At around 30 to 40 miles above the surface, conditions become strangely Earth-like. Temperatures drop to levels humans could survive with protection. Atmospheric pressure becomes similar to Earth's. In this narrow band, floating habitats could theoretically exist. Scientists have proposed massive, balloon-like cities suspended in Venus's atmosphere. These structures would float above the deadly surface, avoiding extreme heat and crushing pressure. But even this solution comes with enormous challenges. The clouds of Venus are highly corrosive. Any structure would need to resist constant exposure to sulfuric acid. Materials would degrade. Systems would need constant maintenance. And energy would need to be carefully managed. Solar power would be abundant, but storms and thick cloud layers could interfere. Food production would need to be entirely artificial. Water would need to be extracted from the atmosphere or imported. And gravity, while similar to Earth's, would still pose unknown long-term effects. Life in the skies of Venus would feel isolated. There would be no ground to walk on, no natural environment to explore. just endless clouds beneath and above. Communication delays with Earth would remain significant. Rescue missions would be slow and dangerous. A single failure in buoyancy systems could send an entire habitat plunging into the surface below, and there would be no second chances. Venus would not forgive mistakes. Even landing robotic probes on Venus has proven difficult. Most probes survive only minutes or hours before being destroyed. Human technology is still far from withstanding Venus long-term. So why even consider Venus at all? Because Venus represents a warning. It shows us what happens when a planet loses balance. Once, Venus may have had oceans. Once, it may have been habitable. But runaway greenhouse effects transformed it into a hellscape. Studying Venus helps us understand climate systems, planetary stability, and the fragile balance that allows life to exist. If humans ever went to Venus, it would not be to colonize. It would be to observe, to learn, and to remember how rare a stable world truly is. Venus is not a second home. It is a reminder. Some planets are not meant to be touched. They are meant to be understood from a distance.